Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update on the current situation here in Spain, day 353 of the current situation, and a bit of a mixed day today as far as news is concerned. There's some good news regarding the health situation, but some bad news regarding the economy. But more about that in just a moment. Firstly, a big thanks to all of the people that left comments on the last video. Lots of comments, lots of debate happening there as usual. Thanks to people that supported the channel by buying merchandise, and a big thanks to my patrons on Patreon for your support. Now let's get into the news, and as I said, there's some good news today and some bad news. We'll start with the bad news first, and it relates to the job market and the economy. As we can see here, bitter February, 30,000 jobs destroyed, more than 4 million unemployed, and the ERTE or furlough scheme out of control, up to 900,000 people. The Vice President of Economic Affairs, Nadia Calviño, wanted to prepare the ground for some more bad news in the labour market on Monday. The data are not good, she advanced. The slowdown in activity in the first quarter of the year is becoming more than evident, and so is therefore its reflection in the labour market. Thus, February has followed the path of a more than disappointing January and has closed with the destruction of 30,211 jobs, an increase in unemployment of 44,436 people, already surpassing the psychological barrier of 4 million unemployed, and with a worrying rebound in the workers in the ERTE or furlough scheme, which are already close to 1 million people. Calviño's words on Monday were not improvised, and it is that Moncloa is clear that there are still some very tough economic months ahead, with a spring marked by the expiration of important networks such as moratoriums on rentals or bankruptcies that can cause a new tsunami in the form of bankruptcies. So there we go, the bad news out of the way. Things not looking good here in Spain when it comes to the economy. Some 30,000 jobs destroyed last month and close to 1 million people in furlough schemes. And as the government pointed out, there are still some very tough economic months ahead. But the good news is that the health situation improves on a daily basis. We can see here that Spain's coronavirus incidence rate has fallen to its lowest point since August 2020. The 14-day cumulative number of cases per 100,000 inhabitants has dropped to 175.3, but health authorities warn the speed of the descent is slowing. Things are moving in the direction that interests us, says Fernando Simon, the director of the Health Ministry's Coordination Centre for Health Alerts, when presenting the data on Monday. He warned, however, that the fall in figures, which is going very fast, is beginning to lose pace. So coronavirus levels here in Spain at its lowest point since August 2020. And can we continue to keep the numbers down? The Easter break is just around the corner, and various autonomous communities are weighing up whether to open or not for that Easter week. One autonomous community here in Spain that is planning to open for Easter is Madrid. No surprises there. And as we can see here, Madrid plans to open at Easter and hopes that other autonomous communities will do so as well. The Ayuso government is considering not closing the perimeter due to the fall in infections. The decision will depend on the position of other regions, because if not, it would be problematic. The downward trend in positive cases from COVID-19 has led the community of Madrid to consider an Easter holiday without perimeter closure and therefore with freedom of movement, although in all probability capacity limitations would continue, especially when it comes to gathering with other people in bars and restaurants and in private homes. However, and as the newspaper El Mundo has learned, the decision is pending on what other regions decide to do. If they do not open, it would be problematic, according to the regional government, which fears for holiday days with good weather and the people of Madrid with a logical desire to take to the streets. So watch out Valencia, watch out Alicante, watch out Murcia, watch out Costa del Sol, because the Madrileños might be coming. If the weather's good, they have a logical desire to take to the streets. Now, as we know, here in Spain, the vaccination plan is starting to speed up. With people in nursing homes now vaccinated, the focus starts to turn to essential workers. The police and teachers here in Madrid have recently started with their vaccination plan, but there's been a slight hiccup. As we can see here, more than 50 teachers from Madrid are on sick leave due to a strong reaction to the AstraZeneca vaccine. The truth is that the AstraZeneca injection, recommended only for age groups between 18 and 55 since it has not been tested on others, is causing more notable side effects than other vaccines after inoculations. Without going any further, more than 50 pre-primary and primary teachers in the city of Leganés did not attend their classrooms on Monday because they were off sick due to the side effects after receiving the dose at the weekend. So still a little bit of controversy when it comes to the AstraZeneca vaccine here in Spain. As we know, it's only available to people between the ages of 18 and 55. However, I saw today that France has announced that it's going to make it available to people over the age of 65, So we'll see if Spain follows suit. We'll have a look now at the health data, starting with the vaccination campaign, and we can see that 2.67% of the population has completed their vaccinations, and 5.42% of the population has had at least one dose. In other words, around 2.5 million people. If we have a look at the COVID-19 health data around the country, we can see that the risk level here says extreme, but it has been downgraded to high. The total amount of cases now sitting at 3.2 million. The accumulated incidence rate around the country now at 175. There have been 665 COVID-related deaths in the last 7 days. There are currently 11,754 people hospitalised around the country, and there are 2,923 people in ICUs, which is just over 28% of all ICUs in Spain. The Valencian community now, the risk level there is high. The total amount of cases, we can see the accumulated incidence rate now down to 111. There are 1,004 people hospitalised in the Valencian community with COVID, and there are 281 people in ICUs, which is just under 27% of all ICUs in the Valencian community. Now, as we know, there's a lot of pent-up demand for holidays in places like Spain this year, especially in places like the UK, and there is some good news, and it is that Spain may allow COVID-vaccinated UK tourists if no EU pass is agreed on. Minister says country will act unilaterally if Europe does not bring in vaccination passports. Spain will consider a green corridor for vaccinated British tourists if there is no EU agreement on vaccination passports, the country's tourism minister has said, as the European Commission prepared to table a proposal for leaders this month. Fernando Valdez said his government would seek to find agreement on a common system among the 27 member states to allow tourism to restart, but Madrid would probably open bilateral talks with non-EU countries if that failed. Right now we have discussions with our colleagues in the UK, Valdez told Bloomberg TV. For us, the British market is our main market. But obviously, since we are a member of the European Union, the solutions have first to be part of the discussions in the EU. British tourists spent around £18 billion in Spain in 2019, making it the most popular holiday destination for UK travellers, but numbers were down by more than 80% in the summer of 2020. So a green corridor between Spain and the UK in the pipeline, because make no mistake, Spain needs those pounds. Now let's have a look at some of the comments from previous videos. One here from Spicy Pet for El Corte Inglés, read Debenhams, surprised it still exists. And another similar comment from WK, El Corte Inglés is my happy place. Yeah guys, thanks for the comment. We mentioned this yesterday that El Corte Inglés, one of the big department chains here in Spain, is going through a few problems, having to lay off a few workers. I think something like 3,000 people are going to lose their jobs at El Corte Inglés, or they're trying to get some type of voluntary redundancy package in place, and also talk that they're going to close down various centres around the country. And it is a worldwide trend. I've seen in Australia as well, some of the more traditional retailers down there like Myers and David Jones also having problems in recent times. And here in Spain, of course, El Corte Inglés struggling against those big online retailers. When I first came to Spain 20 years ago, everybody loved El Corte Inglés. It was where you could buy anything you wanted. You could buy shoes, music, pots and pans. You could have something to eat. You could even book a holiday in El Corte Inglés. You can still do all of those things, but of course, with all of the lockdowns and confinements, it hasn't been easy to get to those department stores in recent times. And the other problem, of course, for El Corte Inglés is that there is a lot more competition around nowadays, not only online, but also in the traditional bricks and mortar retail sector as well. So we'll see if El Corte Inglés can get through these tumultuous times. One here from Stevo, I believe in Spain you have to pay a monthly fee to run a business, regardless of whether you are turning a profit or not. There is no similar fee in the UK. Yes, Stevo, thanks for the comment. I suppose you are referring to that Autónomos payment, the monthly payment that every self-employed person in this country has to pay regardless of how much money you earn. And the amount of money you pay every month can vary. For example, if you're just starting out, you pay less than €100, and the maximum amount you can pay is over 1,000. And basically what this payment is a contribution to the social security system, so you get access to the healthcare system, and you will also get a small pension when you retire. Well, a small pension or not, it depends how much money you put in. If you're putting in over €1,000 a month, that means that you're going to qualify for the maximum pension. And if you pay the minimum amount, it means that you're going to qualify for the minimum pension here in Spain. So that's what that payment is every month. But as I said, you do get something in return. One here from Edward. Spain's plan B has to be that it becomes Europe's power plant. Plenty of empty land and a lot of sunshine. Iberdrola seems to have twigged this and are planning massive investments. Now for other EU companies to do the same. Yeah, Edward, thanks for the comment, and you're right, it does sound like a good idea and it could be a possible plan B for Spain. Plenty of sun, plenty of vacant land. However, they tried this before. Back in the mid-2000s, Spain's Prime Minister at the time, Mr. Zapatero, had a fantastic idea. He was going to turn Spain into the green energy producer in Europe. They set up photovoltaic plants all over the country. Everywhere you went, in places like Extremadura, you would see these huge spaces covered with solar panels. A lot of people invested their hard-earned savings in that particular plan, and a lot of people lost money. So will we get version 2.0 of this plan? We might do, but there's a lot of people very wary about investing money in this country. One here from Gur. Can't wait to be able to book a holiday in Spain, hopefully soon. Thanks for your time and information. Yeah, Gur, thanks for the comment, and there's a lot of people like you at the moment want to come to Spain on holiday to get a little bit of sun on their bodies. Not only Spain, Portugal as well, Turkey, Greece, Italy, anywhere where the sun shines. We saw earlier in the video that Spain is trying to come up with some type of green corridor between it and the United Kingdom, and I'm sure that there will be other green corridors with other European countries, and people will be able to have a holiday in Spain soon. Not exactly sure when, but hopefully sooner rather than later. One here from TZ612. You'll be on day 365 soon. That will be a milestone to reflect on. Yeah, thanks for the comment, and you're right, day 365 just around the corner. 1 year since this pandemic began. Today currently at day 353, so a few more sleeps and we'll hit that 1 year mark. And it is a milestone, unfortunately not a very good milestone, but it is what it is. On that note, I'll start to wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.